Hey guys, I know this is a long time coming, but today we are going to be talking about my review for the season 1 of Wheel of Time. Looking back on the season, I'm glad I've gotten some time to really think about it and digest what sort of happened. What happened for me is mainly I got a bad taste in my mouth about the TV show because of the ending. Endings are super important, you know, for some people, even with like Game of Thrones, the ending they didn't like. And like it ruined the entire show for them. So that's some of like the things. That's not necessarily as far as I went when it came to the TV show, but I was wanting more, and that's because I had these certain expectations up. I talked about it in my other video, you can go check that out, but very briefly, I just wanted to see like Rand fighting in the sky, being super awesome, killing a whole bunch of Trollocs. Instead, that moment was giving to Egwene and Nynaeve, and I definitely have to say that this season was more Nynaeve focused, which I think is pretty fitting because she has a really important part to play in the entire story. In my opinion, she's like the second most important person in the show. I'm not really going to get into too many spoilers here, so don't worry about that. But this was very much a Nynaeve, Land, and Moraine sort of season with a little bit of Egwene, but not really focused too much on anybody else besides that. But you understand why. So another sort of thought that I had was looking at this season in retrospect, I understand now why we focused a lot on the Warder and Aes Sedai bond. For me, when I was first watching it, I was like, oh, this is cool, we're just learning more about them, right? But no, it's like we see at the end of the season that Moraine is shielded and tied off and like basically can't channel the one power, like it's right on her fingertips. I think that Robert Jordan explained it that way too, which is like, I really like that she said that. So that was really interesting, and it's basically Moraine's gonna have to figure out how to basically rein in Rand without having the one power. Like, it's not like she would be able to do that anyway with the one power, but you know, like it gives her more at a disadvantage, right? And now we really understand how devastating it is for like not being able to feel this bond between a Warder and an Aes Sedai. So it sets up all of that, and what Moraine's going to go through even more of a hard time, which is sort of, not everybody really wanted something like that, right? Like, we want Moraine to be able to be this like really awesome character, and to be able to see her at this huge disadvantage. Hopefully we're going to be able to still see her strong, even though like she will be struggling with not being able to touch the source or have this bond with Lan. Obviously, where we left off in the show, I sort of have this feeling that we are going to get a little bit of book 2 and book 3 for next season. There's a theory that Rand is going to go to the Io Waste. If they do that, they're really going to have to justify it, because there's a lot of really cool stuff that needs to happen for character development in book 2 and book 3. And I think you can combine both of those books. It's just going to take a lot of mastery and effort to be able to do so. I trust the team to be able to do that. The only thing is, just don't take away any more awesome scenes and don't take away character development. I thought they've done a really good job with the character development so far. There's obviously gripes here and there, but I think they have done a pretty good job handling it, and being able to weave certain things in for a bigger world picture of the Wheel of Time. 14 books, right? But also trying to stay true to the first book. So I think they could do the same thing for next season with book 2 and 3. That's just like sort of my opinion. But looking back at this season, I really liked the setup. I thought there was a strong beginning, and it sort of like ramped up from there basically, and growing out the world even more, and it sort of hit its stride at like episode 7, and that's why I was like so pumped for episode 8, because like episode 7 was so awesome, okay, which is my favorite episode. Episode 8 is about to like knock it out of the water, and I think I just had my expectations in another direction and a little too high. The non-reader part of my like family, they really enjoyed it, and they're excited for the second season and like who these people were, who the Shan were, like what's going on, this is crazy, where's everybody gonna go after this, all that sort of stuff. And for my reader side of my family, they still really liked it. They thought it was fine. They're not like super hardcore, not in like the community the way that I am, so I'm a little bit more jaded, but I still have faith. I'm not like giving up the show and thinking that it's blasphemy or anything like that. I'm excited about what they're going to be able to bring for season 2. Season 2 would be the one to be able to tell me, like, is this going to be consistent of like us missing out on awesome moments, because that doesn't make sense. I don't think that is. I think they saved that moment of Rand being super awesome for the end of season 2. If I don't get that, then I will be upset, obviously. So we'll just have to hold out for that one. I thought the season was good all in all. I believe I give it like a 7.4. I don't know if I can justify a 7.5, but a 7.4 I can definitely give it. It's definitely worth another watch, and it's definitely worth like watching season 2. My rankings for each episode, from like least favorite to my favorite, it goes 8, 2, 3, 6, 5, 1, 4, 7. So I love 7 because of all the character moments. 4 was super awesome because of all the action in the Nynaeve moment. 1 I thought was a great setup. 5 was great for getting to know the warders more, and just like the emotional character moments in that one. 6 was good because we got to know like Swan a little bit more, the conflicts of the White Tower, all of that going on, doing a lot of setup probably for next season with Leandrin and all of that. Then episode 3 was good because it opened up the world a little bit more about Dark Friends, and they're sort of like, it's regular people too, like it's not just these giant monsters chasing everybody. 2, I liked Shadow Logoth, and I love the Weep for Manetheren and all that sort of story building they were doing. And then 8, I did like how crazy it was with linking everyone together to kill all of those Trollocs. I think it was a little too much, but the burning out and everything was really crazy. I did like the final thing with Rand going on. It just wasn't the climax that I was expecting, so it sort of jaded me a little bit. Yeah, and sort of looking back at everything, and in conclusion, looking back on Brandon Sanderson's sort of comment about this is another turning of the wheel, and I was like, oh yeah, like some things are going to be different, obviously. And now I'm like, I am just looking for little touch points that are from the books, and if we don't hit those points, then I will be upset. A lot of the in-between I don't really care too much about. As long as we get the character development right and those touch points, then I'm going to be A-okay. I'm sort of kind of letting the Eye of the Worlds touch point climax part go because it was already crazy enough as it was, and I actually think they did a very good job taking some things that happened end series sort of wise, and implementing them here to be able to make it all make sense when they finish the entire show. And I think fans will actually really like that in the end when it's all said and done. Some will obviously not, and that's okay. We still have the books, right? So, and it's bringing more people to read the books. But I think the show is like pretty good. I really liked it. I'm looking forward to season 2. I'm going to be having my like what's going to be going on in season 2 sort of video coming out next week. I'm going to be trying to keep at least once a week a Wheel of Time video up for you guys, because obviously this was like so big for starting out my channel. I'll probably start getting into some Game of Thrones stuff here soon with the new thing, and I want to do Witcher, but I got a lot of other stuff that I'm doing, so we'll see about that one. Maybe just one episode about The Witcher. I haven't even watched it yet. You guys let me know what you think of The Witcher so far. What do you think about Wheel of Time Season 1? I'm really interested to hear from you guys. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of the discussion. I'll see you guys in the next video.